Hey, it's the album review club. Straight loud entertainment. Wait for these folks to join.
Dude, ooh. It's me. Hey. Oh, too close, man. Sorry.
Man, how you first one to just pop in?
Well, and unfortunately, I had to scare the audience real quick.
That should be-
Let me do a farther away face. Bam. After work
I think
with the beat.
it'll look better if you just turn your camera on.
I'll do a still image of like someone who also is light skinned. Here's a picture of Steph Curry. You guys got Steph Curry? Oh my God, is it T-Pain? Oh shit!
What's up, man? It's your boy Cheddar. What's happening?
How goes it, man? Looks like my eyes are gonna be like from like the way the shadows hit. My eyes are like completely closed. It is crazy. My goodness.
All right, man. What's going on, fellas? What's going, guys? You know what I'm saying? We got Cheddar, we got 40, and of course, we got Woo and Foo and Woo. What it do? What's happening, fellas?
What's good with you? Hey, we need to go ahead and get it out the way because we be forgetting like every single week.
Oh
So,
yeah.
let's go ahead and get these shout outs on the way. You know, shout out to Penny Jane for the fit. You feel? Shout out to her. And get your crochet needs over there.
Y'all recognize this,
So,
man? 252 World Tour, man. I forget who. I'm killing yo. I'm kidding. It's vintage. It's your boy Woo. Woo with the clothing brand with the shirts. Guess what? We about to put the brand on them too, but shh. I'm revealing too many secrets. What's going on?
Hey,
252 stand up. Stop playing with me.
I mean, shout out what you got? You got any shout out for anybody?
uh, shout out to Good Vibes everywhere. You know what I'm saying? GVO, Good Vibes only, everywhere, all the places. You know what I mean? Oh, and also, wait. Also, shout out to Childish Gambino. Just seeing the concert this past week. You know what I'm saying? Craziest show I ever seen. Shout out to the boy. You know.
Word.
Man, for what you talking about?
Word.
I'll shout out my place of residence right now, which is Greenway Beer and Wine. Let me go and use the spot as I get ready to review this album
Man, we
that Mr. Pullo.
ain't shouting them niggas out unless they sponsor us.
Hey,
So,
yo, hold
uh,
on. Let me
Hey, hold
lower the
up.
body armor then.
Does a beer count as a sponsorship? Because I do got a beer from the Greenway Beer and Wine.
hey, but so y'all know, man, she had a birthday recently. We gotta give her a shout out too. Shout out to the juice.
Hey, yo, shout out to the little
Dude,
Miss Juice,
Hey,
little Miss
hey,
pop
Flow.
a seal for her.
If you
happy
know me,
birthday
you know
to
I'm
you.
married. And if you know I'm married, you know I'm married to the demon herself. You know what I'm saying? Big, evil, little Juice. Shout out. Happy birthday,
Big
baby.
Eagle. I would love that. I would actually love that as a shirt. Just Big Evil, and on the back just says Little Juice.
Big evil, yeah. But nah, man, no. Let's go ahead and get into this review. So we're gonna do a little something a little different this week. We're gonna be split hosting while Kofi figures out his internet, because people be broke nowadays, bro. We straight out of COVID. His internet not always gonna be good, but we gonna pray for him. We gonna pray for his internet. Make sure he survive all the way through, bro. But here's the
Is that
deal:
tripping?
we're doing things a little bit
A
different.
little bit.
Unfortunately, everybody collectively say, "Oh,
Oh,
our man Wu is sick. He got the Rona flu virus. He got
what?
all of it. He got a cold Rona. He on his way out of here, but he still showed up to do the review. Everybody say thank you to Wu.
Is that why
Hey,
But we're
never,
the
splitting
black place
hosting
back?
duties.
Ain't none of that. It's I got a bubonic plague. Everything black.
Yo, bubonic plague, you ought to be out of here, big fella. But the reason why we mention it is because, you know, we're going to be splitting hosting duties because, you know what I'm saying, his throat hurt. You know what I'm saying? His throat, hey, you know what I'm saying?
I
Sometimes
Do
your
that
throat
every
hurt, you know?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Man. Go much, man. I'm about to take over if you gonna keep playing like this.
What I say? What I say? You
What'd
not.
you bring? What'd you bring for us today, Fuller?
All right.
Other than
So
body
here's,
armor.
hold on. Woo's still gonna do the tail of the tape. Go ahead, Woo, and then pass it to Foo. We go from there.
All right.
Then you knew.
This week, Fullo brought us a little something different that we're used to when it comes to what we've done so far. He brought us Shea Butter Baby by Ari Lennox, DC's own. And
Woo!
DC, stand up. If you were born there, then you know what it is. But I forgot y'all from the South, and one of y'all from the super North. Y'all don't understand the DC culture, but it's okay. That's why I brought it to you guys. Welcome.
but man,
You're welcome.
I feel like if you move from somewhere like at the age of like 6, 7, you don't understand the culture. But
Here, I see that's hate, but we're not gonna get into it right now.
that's why Cheddar don't want to admit it, but he really from Greenville. But
I believe it.
That's
hey,
right, Breezy. DC, stand up. Also, shout out to Tracy. Tracy's in here too. You know what I'm saying? She's from the South. She don't know nothing. She not from nowhere. She ain't never been nowhere. But DC's own Ari Lennox. That's the album we're doing. Go ahead, Boo.
uh,
Go ahead, Woo.
Shea Butter Baby was dropped in 2019, May 7th, 2019. It was led by 3 singles, which include Whipped Cream, Shea Butter Baby, and BMO. Uh, Shea Butter Baby went gold in Brazil and Canada and went platinum in the US. BMO,
Say it again. Say it again.
nah, BMO
It went platinum.
went gold in the US. It peaked at number 67 on the top 200, and AP and Vibe voted it the number 1 album for 2019. And it went gold. Overall, went gold. So that's a quick tell of the tape. I ain't got much for you on it. But
It's a lot, but I'll take it from here. We'll throw the alley. Foo got it. All right, so here's the deal, big dog. First of all, I had to bring this album out because when you talk about R&B and soul over the past 20 years, there's gonna be a lot of confusion. There's gonna be a lot of like, oh well, this is Chris Brown soul. Is he the same as Erica Badu? No. All right, R&B soul is a little bit different. Shea Butter Baby is one of the first albums in the past like 10 years where it comes out and it's like, okay, this actually sounds like R&B from the 90s, R&B from the early 2000s, heavily influenced by like Erykah Badu. Little known fact, Ari Lennox used to be a backup singer for Erykah Badu. My bad. 40, you wouldn't know nothing about that. This is black culture. Just set aside. I got you. It's okay. I'm going to explain it all. I'm going to break it down to you. It's all good. So Erykah Badu is a neo-soul pioneer legend. Ari
How do
Lennox
you
was
spell it?
essentially,
How do you spell it,
nobody
Fuller?
wants to hear mixed commentary. So Ari Lennox is basically brought up under her, right? This is her debut album. She signed to Dreamville, and despite who heads up Dreamville, Dreamville does produce good artists. She's one of them, and so we're gonna go through this album. The reason why I chose it and keep it short and sweet. This is what it sounds like, bro. This is what R&B sounds like. You have a woman on the vocals. You have good jazz instrumentals in the background. You even sprinkle a little bit of JID in there. You know what I'm saying? Let's mix it with rap because that's what neo soul is. It's very closely related to hip hop. So I had to bring this to you boys because some of y'all don't know nothing about this. I'm not gonna say no names. I'm not gonna point at nobody, but some of y'all got white parents. I'm gonna leave it at that. Go ahead. 40. What do you know, remember, heard about, spurred about this album, big dog?
what have what have I heard? I've heard nothing about this album. This is completely as you have alluded to. This is not my cup of tea. I don't
He's
follow this
white.
style. I mean, hey man, all I'm saying is this. I don't even know, man. I'll say this. I was surprised because I didn't know that she was actually part of Dreamville. Because then I started listening to the production. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And then I was like, oh, okay. So J. Cole, JID, which also explains a lot of that, which I don't know. Anyways, but No, I didn't know anything. It was a good, it was a good listen. I ain't going. All right, go ahead. But
All
go
right,
ahead, Cheddar.
hey, whoa, I ain't say nothing, big dog. I'm just gonna transition it over to Cheddar Money, Moolah, baby.
Cheddar.
What you think?
Um, I liked it. But like I don't have too much prior experience with this album. I will say, other than like I said, Shea Butter. Like I said last week, Shea Butter Baby kind of like I caught wind of that, like the single, the song or whatever. Before like and I've heard of her, Ari Lennox. Like I've caught some vibes from her every once in a while, but I've never actually dug in and listened to a full album of hers before, or even like a full neo soul album. Like I haven't listened to one in a while. Like Janae Aiko, I peeped like
Oh,
when she dropped something maybe.
whoop, whoop. Hold on. You ain't never listened to a whole Neo Soul album before?
Not you know. I mean, what I would usually do is hit Pandora or Spotify and just throw on
Okay.
like a playlist and just let it run, but like never really checking anything for anything specifically and just like feeling the vibe. But I've never sat down and listened to like somebody's full neo soul albums. This is the first for me to sit down and listen to
I
one.
respect that. That makes sense. I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna get mad at it. I respect that. So for two of y'all never really heard the album before. That's
yeah.
fantastic. This is a fresh
Don't let
listen.
me in with Justin for at any point though.
Oh,
don't
my
don't
bad,
let
my
me
bad.
in at any
Oh,
point.
Two of y'all never heard of it before, but one of y'all specifically hates black culture. I'll let the viewers figure out who we're talking about. All right, so hey, Woo. See, me and you like, you know what I'm saying? Woo and foo, foo and woo. I know you heard this album. What'd you think about it before, bro? What experience you got with this album?
Man, first and foremost, I apologize to everybody. I shouldn't have let him run it,
He
but
shouldn't. He shouldn't have. But it's too late. The train already off the rails. Too late.
yeah, and we just gonna continue taking out the rails. I'm just mirror what Kofi said because I'll dive into a playlist, but I haven't really dived into albums, especially when it comes to like Neil. So like I can get what I need to from a playlist, and
Yeah.
I'll dive into like something else.
I gotta ask. Hold on, I'm not throwing a flag. I just gotta pop this up, bro. So hear me out. Hear me out. I've been hearing a lot about this over the past couple of years, bro. Especially with like Spotify blowing up, Apple Music blowing up. A lot of people listen to playlists over albums. Me, I still listen to like music, like I guess you would call it traditionally. I still listen to albums. So like sometimes people who are riding in the car with me or whatever, they'll be like, "Hey, what are you listening to?" And I'd be like, "They're trying to switch songs." I'm just like, "No, it's the same artist. I'm listening to their album. This isn't a playlist." However, I know Cheddar listens to playlists. I know Cheddar curates playlists. You guys explain to me from the other side of the park why playlists over albums, or it just depends on what mood you're in.
Oh no,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, go ahead.
let me go first. With me, I usually get my music in bulk, and whenever I'm doing it, I go for the artists that I actually enjoy listening to, and if I want to experiment with something, I might do something like that.
Okay.
So I do a little bit of both. I'll listen to the whole album. Like if it's shoot, let Dolph drop, let T Pain drop, let Crit drop, you know, let Beat King drop, let the Migos drop.
Hey, yo, okay, we get it. They
I'm,
gone. Stop.
I'm pulling the whole list. But if it's like someone I'm not familiar with, I'll like experiment here and there, and if I like it, I'll deep dive into that artist. I'm currently going through Larry June. Love me some Larry June right now. But but
That's a conversation for
but
another day. All
but
right.
with this album, I enjoyed it. It gave me the urge to actually want to jump into Ari Lennox
Yeah.
Hey,
and
yo,
listen.
pause. I mean, not pause, but hey, yo, context.
Oh,
Don't.
I mean, tomato, tomato.
I
Uh, but
said what I said.
yeah, like, it was definitely a dope listen to, and some it was. I've seen a lot of it before in like real time. Like, no,
Okay, bet. All right, Cheddar. What about you, big dog? Playlists, albums. What are we talking about here, brother?
Kind of a mix too. Back, because I think part of that comes from like, because me and Steve used to download a lot of music like back in the day. So like, once I start with playlists, and then if I find somebody I like I do a deep dive into their catalog or whatever, and try to listen and consume all of it or whatever whatever I can. Um, I mean, but like since I've moved more towards like Apple Music, I've been more to like listening, giving more people shots of listening to their full albums. When I was on Spotify was straight playlists.
Oh,
But now the
okay.
thing about Apple Music is it's harder for me to get the playlists on there than it was for Spotify. It's a little bit different. I'm in the middle of a transition period. You know what I'm saying? But anybody that I have like definites that like T-Pain or something like that. Like if they're dropping, I'm gonna do at least one deep dive through their album, and then pull what I like. But for the most part, yeah, I'm
Okay,
trying to move
okay.
back into
Like,
album launches.
and then 40. Actually, I'll be honest with you, bro. From what I remember, because, if anybody who's just tuning in, if you're just finding us, we're all like either middle school, high school, or college friends. So we've been knowing each other for about 10, 15 years at this point. 40, the way I remember is you're an album listener, but has anything changed?
No, it depends. Because the problem with me is that I'll go and get super excited about a sound that I hear from an artist, and I go like, "Oh man, I've never heard this being done this way or this," or like they give a tone that I like really like, and I listen to the album, and it's like the one thing that they actually did. A good example is like Franz Ferdinand's "Take Me Out." If you listen to the album that's associated with, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, this isn't it. There was another guy like there's sometimes less is more. I loved Comethazine when he did the XXL cipher, and I was like, Comethazine's crazy. Like this dude's crazy. Listened to some more songs. I was like, okay, this guy, I like some of his songs. And I listened to an album, and I'm like, this is a lot of Comethazine, man. This is a lot. This is,
He made
whatever when
15
he
songs?
what it was more like tales, more like biblical analogies of what he's done. It's crazy though. So
Okay.
like sometimes I like to go into albums that have already had the time, like the test of time, because I'm starting to go backwards rather than forwards. So like the 2019, I wasn't listening to Ari Lennox because I was out. I think during that time I got into like Zamrock, which is like African 70s rock and roll. And then I started getting into like random African drums and then, just different albums in that regard. So I was just in like a whole different country at that point, just listening to music, going like, what is,
Hey,
because a lot of times,
hey, 40. We get it. You don't have to convince us that you're mixed with black. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to sprinkle in. All I listen to is African
okay.
music. We get
Also
it.
say, I
Okay.
did like Spanish and Japanese too. So, I mean, I'll go and get the other demographics over there and maybe some Nordic. I
All
was
right, my
listening
bad.
to
That
the,
that was me going off the rails a little bit. I just wanted to get some thoughts in, but all right. So let's go ahead and kick it off. I appreciate you boys' thoughts. All right, so hear me out. I'm gonna start it off with my highlights because I'm the only one that matters. I'm kidding. I'm the one that suggested the album. So my highlights are I love Chicago Boy. That's a hell of a way to start off the fucking album. Love it. BMO solid. But I look at BMO and Broke as kind of like almost not the same song, but they pair really well together. That's why I gotta give a shout out to the composition of this album because the way it was put together, a lot of the songs kind of lead you mood wise into the next song. But my highlights: Chicago Boy, Up Late is a jam. I always play Up Late. Shea Butter Baby. I know what you guys are gonna say, but what about J Cole? Hey man, look, I'm not a hater. When he hot, he hot. When he hit. And on that verse was solid. I really fuck with that verse. Um, then it's whipped cream. Now obviously this is not the only ain't no that's a salt shaker. Stop.
Hey,
Ain't no flat.
on a flag on. And I'm a J Cole fan. I really ain't care for that verse.
Okay, but the verse wasn't supposed to make the song. I just thought it didn't hinder the song. It was
Well,
solid.
I don't care if the verse makes or breaks the song. I ain't care for that.
Oh my god,
question
Jesus
for
Christ,
both of y'all
bro.
then. Out of the verses between JID and J. Cole, which
Oh,
one did you prefer?
I got you. So I feel like JID's verse would have been better if it was done by Kendrick.
Okay,
Whoa.
this is a very intricate
Whoa.
conversation. We're gonna have this conversation later. But JID is not Kendrick clone. Y'all need to stop saying that. That's
But
disrespectful.
when that song copy and paste, like it sounded like if it was just done with Kendrick's West.
What's funny is around the same time Kendrick gave a verse to SZA for her album, and it sort of not sounded the same, but it was kind of placed in the same area. But we're gonna come back once again. Conversation for another day. West Side all day. But no, so mine is once again Chicago Boy, Up Late, Shea Butter Baby, and of course Whipped Cream. Whipped Cream is like there's a couple songs I'm gonna take from the 2010s and just pack that motherfucker up, and I'll put together like the 2010s playlist. That's gonna make it. Up like Whipped Cream is a fire song to me. Love it. And I'm gonna pass it on down to 40. Y'all beware now.
Okay.
Whether you're watching this live or you're watching this in the review,
You're
don't
gonna
go at him,
you're
okay? He's
so,
trying. He's
so
trying.
Fullo's gonna get very disappointed or upset because some of the songs that he talked about are the ones that I would actually pretty much agree with. Chicago Boy was a great opening. BMO, Break Me Off. I love the Woo Ha, which is actually a sample that Busta Rhymes sample from another guy called Space, which I added to my playlist because I was like that. When you listen to that sample, go continue. It's kind of crazy. Broke with JID. I just like Broke sampled something that has like a harp or something in the background that just works really well with that song. And then JID does kind of it's to me it's a little bit of a forgettable verse, but it doesn't hurt any of it. It's just kind of like it kind of helps the thing continue on. Shea Butter Baby, I like, and here's the problem, right? I don't remember J. Cole's verse. And here's another problem with it. I really like the way that when the song gets to its like climax, like figuratively and metaphorically, or basically both same. There's a part where she says like the shape of my hips, right? And the way she pronounces everything on that is fantastic. I have no
That's
problems with that.
what I'm saying. The way she pronounces everything. Hey, let's
Uh,
turn down the lights in here.
She has like
side,
she was like,
side note,
oh, hold up.
and I'm just gonna pull one out Fullo's card. Hey, 40. Do you know what it's like for some shea butter to fuck up your pillows?
Maybe actually. Hold on. Oh man. Wait, why is it? Anyways, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, no, we got you. The audio's fine.
Okay, cool. So I like that song because of the way that she structures the way one showcases her vocal range, and two, it kind of is like a really it's taking a step out of some of the styles that she was doing, so it kind of sticks out to me every time I hear it, and I'm just like, okay, she kind of brings me back on that. And then whipped cream lyricism wise, I hope that she wrote this song herself because this is a great like example of like good lyricism in terms of, and I don't mean like rapping lyricism. I mean like literally like painting a picture, explaining how things go. There's a lot of depth and meaning behind a lot of her words. That's one that when I'm like doing my jogs and whatnot, I'm like looking through and I'm just like, oh, this is very high quality work. So honestly, outside of those, I think I Been was one that like I kind of said that was a little bit on the different note. But yeah, no, I agree. I'll pass that
Nice. All
up.
right. In that case, I am kind of disappointed. I thought you were gonna. We gotta wait for the low lights. All right, Cheddar.
I think it's
Go
just
ahead, big dog. Cheddar. I can already tell if you don't know Cheddar, if you haven't been watching the lives. Cheddar's a big Shea Butter fan, big cocoa butter fan. All right, you know what I'm saying? The whole house smell like patchouli oil. yo, what it do, Cheddar? What are your highlights, big dog?
Listen, today's highlights are brought to you by Shea Nivea Moisture. But no, yeah. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of highlights. Like I really enjoyed listening to this album. A lot
When
of
the boy bring you gold, don't he bring you gold? You can check it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Cheddar.
yeah. I think a lot of these songs are gonna get added to my playlist for regulars. I think I mean my Apple Music playlist is already starting to change. Like my Casually Made is already starting to kind of improve. Now that I've listened to Ari Lennox all week long. New apartment was a big highlight for me. As someone who moved recently, I guess it was about a year ago, moved into my apartment, like living in my own space. Like I was kind of like, you know what? Some of these bars hit. Like I mean, I don't be popping my hoo ha up in the air or anything like that, up in the sky.
He's
But
like, I am gonna leave the
Hold on.
bathroom wet.
Flag, flag. Because he specified, that means he does walk around his apartment naked.
I do.
And he
I
be
do.
flipping. And it be slippery. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that one's one that kind of spoke to me. And I was like, oh man, she's speaking some bars here. I understand what she's talking about. I been was I really enjoyed that joint. That was a big highlight for me. I enjoyed it. It was a little vibe setter. It was good. You know, I gave the playlist like last minute run, or the album last minute run. It feels good on many different levels, man. You know, it works for me in different situations. It's a great, great album.
In that case, bro, you guys are. When the boy bring you gold, see, this is gonna be a layup. I got a James Harden 2017 Euro step. Woo, what do you think, big dog? Come on, we need your highlights, big dog. Everybody, turn your ears up. He got COVID. Go ahead.
Man, you got dang ass. Dang. It's bubonic, nigga. What you mean? But it definitely feels like it's from the Badu lineage. You know, I could feel that. First time I was going through, I ain't looked nothing up. I just listened to it, and I was like, dang, man, sure feel like this like a less, not no disrespect to her, less seasoned Erica Badu. But it definitely is easy to listen to. It's just long enough, so if you want to listen to it one time, you listen to it one time. But if you just happen to have it on repeat, then you just, it's in the background playing. The whole room just chilling. It's just a whole little vibe in there. So it's a quick, you can mess around. Go ahead, man.
Well, you said just long enough. Did you do an experiment? Is that what you're saying? Trying to give a person an understanding of the Pope playbook right now?
First of all, I'm gonna need like 30 songs. I need like a Chris Brown CD in this motherfucker.
All right, hold on. Okay, hey, no, man. We just like, look, man. Our parents gonna watch this. Hold on, now let's slow down. Everybody know that we all virgins. We don't know nothing about this stuff. Go ahead, Will.
Agreed. I don't even know what that is. Be
I'm
enough.
like, I'm just drinking grapefruit.
When did we start talking about olive oil?
Bitch, you say anything about oil you cooking? Well, go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
But BMO and I've been definitely my highlights. Cause it just makes you just appreciate black women. Like the whole thing just makes you appreciate black women. I don't know how you can get that feeling just from music. You start playing it and Shea Butter, the smell of it just comes through the system. And it's like, all right, this is lit. So shout out to all the black women out there. Y'all beautiful, y'all powerful. We love all of you. But yeah, those are my highlights. The whole thing, I liked it, man.
Look, man. So first of all, I want to go ahead and applaud you guys for all the fucking highlights you guys gave this album. We were kind of in agreement. So one of the things when I was thinking about choosing the album that I have for this week, between a couple. And like what really set it off for me was it was concise. Like this is 12 songs. This is 12 songs. You can tell, especially from Dreamville and from Ari Lennox, like her EPs and her second album that came out. A lot of stuff was cut out of this album. Like a lot of stuff was cut out of this album, and I really appreciate that from artists because not everybody trying to be fucking Chris Brown, where it's like, hey man, I dropped a new album. All right, hey Chris, how many songs got there? It's funny that you say that because I'm actually not done. It's 30 songs on the regular one and 45 on the deluxe. I'll never listen to this whole thing, Chris. I'm sorry, it's never gonna happen. So I really appreciate the 12 songs because it shows an artist and her production and her label behind her being like, all right, we're gonna single out what we think are the best tracks and how they flow together. We're gonna put it together. So like when it comes, that leads me into like the lowlights is I don't really have them. Like so, in my opinion, my personal opinion for lowlights is what's a bad song? What is like on the bottom tier of the list from the album? And with 12 songs, there's a couple I don't like. I won't like repeatedly play. So for me, it's what is it? It's pop and gonna be kind of unpopular. I don't really like Broke. Not that it's bad, but remember I said earlier in the live, like BMO and Broke are almost like a package deal for me because of how well they lead into each other. I prefer BMO over Broke. I don't know why, but like JID is not bad on the song. It's kind of one of those things where it's just like I think Wu said it earlier about J. Cole. I could have done without it. I don't know if he improved the song. So it's controversial for me because Shea Butter Baby, I do feel like, however small, I do think that J. Cole improved that song. That was a solid feature. I couldn't tell you JID's verse from like Broken. I've listened to the album over and over and over again this week. Static, it was a good closer for the album, but like I could do without it. So Yeah, my low lights, if you want to call it that, which are just songs I don't think are the best, are Broke, I think Pop, and Static. That's pretty much it. It's on you, 40.
So I genuinely agree. The way that Dreamville was able to produce this album, the way that Ari was able to kind of be consistent throughout the entirety of this album, really showed like a level of like competency and like a love for music. One, it gave me more credit. Like I gave a lot more credit to Dreamville because one, I don't listen to J Cole like that, so that's more like me not
You
knowing
don't
rather
have to.
than.
Go ahead. You don't have to.
But so like I did listen to JID, and whenever JID does a feature, it's kind of that like you can just tell like, oh, it's just JID doing a feature. So you're not really like one way or the other about it. I never disliked JID. I always root for him, but sometimes he just disappoints me. Well, let's go into the actual like, low lights, right? So I'm gonna hit y'all with a curveball because this is something that like maybe because here's one thing that's tough with this kind of format is that if I've never heard of the album before, I have to kind of get as much knowledge of the album and to give it a fair share, like a fair shake within a week, which means I'm listening to it almost constantly. And something that happens is that I'll sometimes hear something that I'm just like, that's I wish I would do without it. Ari Lennox, in order to kind of have a portrayal of like her inner voice, inner monologue, she has a higher pitched version of herself, especially when like Chicago Boy first like ends, like when it starts to end, and she goes like, "All right, ladies," like we're like, "All right, fellas, this is only for the ladies." When I heard it the first time, I was like, and throughout the entire album, I was like, whatever. The second time, something in my brain said, sounds like Alvin and the Chipmunks. And when that happened, that hurt a lot of the song. Not it didn't hurt the songs per se. It just made me get upset because I'm like, Dreamville just proved to me that they are amazing with their production, their ideas, and their style. And I'm just like, it would have been really nice if Ari had chosen someone else to almost do those mini interludes, where like it would be like Ari's version of her inner voice, which I would have thought would have been dope because it
Okay,
also
so
happens on
so
new.
so, wait, so you're saying you kind of wished it would have been
Hold, hold,
interludes instead of add-ons at the end of the
hold on.
songs.
Yes.
Hold on.
Go
Hold on.
ahead. Go ahead.
I agree with this, but they took those like those little like bits, and they are actually from her Instagram lives, and they put it at the end of the song, and they I guess they just put a high pitched voice on it, but that's actually her like just popping her shit on live, and they
So
put
like
it
I
at the
don't have a problem with the first part, but I really don't like the high pitched voice because they show how sultry everything is, and it's just it got me annoying because like I'm listening to this album like 6, 7, 8 times, like, and I'm listening to it sometimes like 2 or 3 times back to back. So after a while, you just
So what
hear
you're
like the
saying is you don't really have any lowlights, but that's what you didn't like about the album.
that's the thing I can actively point to and be like
Okay.
that annoyed me. The other lowlights, and here's the problem, right? As you said, there isn't really lowlights. There's just like above, like there's like really great songs, and then there's a whole bunch of above average tracks, and then
Okay.
there's things that for me, because they were just above average, they became a little bit forgettable.
Okay. Before
Only
wait, hold
because
on.
I
Before
didn't.
we pass it off to Cheddar, you gotta give us one. Give us one song where you're just like,
All right,
this ain't it for me.
so I didn't really. All right, I'll just say it like this: anything I said that was not things I liked were relatively forgettable for me. I remember Pop and I remember New Apartment. I remember I just wanted to like them, and I just didn't. I just didn't. I didn't like them at all. Like New Apartment because of the high pitched voice, and then Pop because that song's not for me. That's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just not. Just at Chicago, and you know what? Ari defends herself at the beginning because Ari goes, "Hey, all the guys, get out of the room." I stayed in the room, so I get what I get. You know, so
I
I'll
am
go
part of
Pop.
her label. All right, that's respectful. I understand it. Cheddar, come through with the low lights, big dog.
Um, yeah, I mean, kind of the same. I don't really have too many like legit lowlights. If I do, I guess I could maybe even say the track length. 12 tracks is a little. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a condensed, solid piece of work, but maybe give it a little 16. Yeah, throw in a couple more. It's like when you're watching something on Netflix and all of a sudden you find out it's a British show and you're like, oh damn, I'm on episode 6. I got one episode left. I mean, come on, at least give me a good 14 episodes, man. But that's just to me for me to give a complaint, give a little light. If I had to pick a song specifically, maybe Pop. Pop didn't really necessarily hit for me. It's one of the ones I kind of forget about. Um, but there's not really any legitimate lowlights.
We're cooking with hot grease here. That's what I'm
and for my
talking
and for my
about.
grade, I give it a C. No.
Wait, real fast before Woo goes, because y'all know we got that shit. Before Woo goes, what we're gonna say? I didn't say what you got. I just said you got some shit, bro. I will say this. I am completely unsurprised by the fact that Cheddar likes New Apartment, but 40 hates it. I remember when I was going through this album before I even suggested it, I was like, Cheddar's gonna like this. 40's gonna hate it. Because it's not even because of like any like big reason. I was literally just listening to the track and
Hey,
I was just like,
I,
I don't think 40's gonna
man,
like
hey,
this.
I had to pull out the old flag because I yeah.
Exactly. I was just like, it's just the way it sounds. I was just like, ugh. I was like, I don't know if he's gonna vibe with it. It's part of it is subject matter, but also another part of it is just like it's just a certain bounce, and either you got it or you don't.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? It's like if you brought Woo to a Death Grips concert. He's gonna fuck with some of it, but
Yeah.
then some of it he's gonna be like, this is just screaming.
This is just a really bad noise that hurts my ears.
It's just sonically horrible. But no, go ahead, Woo. Low lights.
um for me,
Also, remember I haven't used my flag yet, so be careful.
I feel like J. Cole's feature was in. Like I said, I feel like JID sounded too much like Kendrick for me. Every time I heard him, I was like, oh,
Yo, he never beat the allegations, bro.
I was like, this feels like Diet Kendrick. It's
Mm,
good for it. Um,
damn.
if I could pull a song off of it, it would be Static because something about Static is like when you look at the lyrics are they're there. It's just I don't know what it
Yeah,
is about Static.
I feel you on that.
Um, and Speak to Me, she gave an unnecessary shot at Sammy Sosa, but valid. I appreciate that. And just the terrible flashbacks of Shea Butter just destroying some pillowcases.
Oh,
That's
oh my god, that's god.
those palms with that. But overall, it was good. All the songs that were average for this piece are above average songs. So ain't really.
In that case, big guys, it's time for us to move on to the moment. You know what I'm saying? Cheddar's favorite moment, especially if it's an album that he chose, because you already know how he is.
I
Also,
have one question.
before we run through this real fast, I gotta ask a question. Is it 40's week or is it Cheddar Dog's week
I think it's
coming
mine.
up? All right, in that case, all right, cool. I just want to go ahead and let everybody know it is what it is when it gets to Cheddar. All right, so hear me out. I give this album, it's going to be kind of crazy. All right, I mean, especially because of what I said. I give this album a 10 out of 10, bro. I give this album a 10 out of 10. And here's why. It's the bad songs weren't bad. That's the thing where it's like if your album is highlights, essentially for me, if your album's highlight, you represent the genre well, and the bad songs are just like lower than the better songs. They're not even bad songs. They're just like, oh, whipped cream is better than static. So it's kind of a weird thing for you to go from whipped cream to static. It's like this is what it looks like. And also I gotta give her a bigger shout out because like the genre itself in 2019, there's a lot. This genre wasn't really a thing. So as like me and we were talking about before, she's clearly a descendant of like the Erica Badu line. And if you know about Erica Badu's music, you know that since 2010, no one's been making that type of music. So for her to come out in 2019 after touring with Erica Badu, make a true R&B neo soul type album and let's also keep this in perspective. When there's nothing like this, there's not even no reference points. That's the other thing you gotta look at when I think about tens. Is like no one else sounded like this when she dropped this. So for this to be good is like, oh, this is you. Like this is you and your team. Y'all put this shit together. I can't even say this doesn't even really sound like anybody besides Erica Badu. And again, not in the 2019s, 2010s. So 10 out of 10. For me, whether it's a classic for anybody else, this is a classic in the genre. If we're gonna hear, this is where like the shift happened in R&B over the past 5, 6, 7 years, where you go from like the SZAs and the Janae Aikos, which no shade to them, but it's like alternative R&B black girl music to real R&B soul, Ari Lennox, Summer Walker type shit. So 10 out of 10, big dog. You know what I'm saying? This is what we I bring you with A. The grade stands. It's an A plus. All right. It's on you for.
Okay. All right. So there's this part of the grading system is a little bit tough because objectively,
You're a hating ass nigga. My bad. Oh, my bad.
well, no,
My bad.
no. I mean, no, but I mean, there's actually some truth to that because you definitely made me have to like really try to take my bias out because I did want to come up here and just be like, this album's trash. I don't know why he brought it to us. I don't know why he did it. But then but I would just be me trying to be petty. So the problem is that currently where I'm at, I'm not interested in this style of music, and that's not. And I'm not saying like in the future I won't. I'm also saying that this album itself is one that someone's like, I want to hear something that sounds like Erykah Badu or like gives me that same feeling because you, as you said, it is not Erykah Badu. I want to be very clear when I just said that. So I'm like, personally, I can't go any lower than a B plus, right? And that's only because like the album's genuinely good. I feel like later down the road I might give it an A. I don't think I'll give it an A plus because I really don't like their choice, especially because she has all of Dreamville behind her. She has all of Dreamville behind her on this, which means and you can
But that's
tell.
not saying much.
Like the production on this album is crazy, and like the fact that everything is almost like surgically placed. I mean, yes, you could take static away or whatnot, but at the end of the day, like it doesn't hurt the placement of where some of these songs go. BMO is great right after Chicago Boy. Broke's good right after BMO. Shea Butter Baby, right in like almost like it's not in the middle, but it's close to it. It's like a great spot. Whipped Cream right at the end to kind of like let you see more about her. So like the album itself is great. The problem is that some of the songs I feel like could have been. I feel like it's like one of those things where it's like it could have been. I feel like if she had one or two more good songs, maybe that would have like brought me more into it. But honestly, I would say like objectively, maybe down the road an A, but like for me it's a B plus, just because like there's a lot of songs that I can't tell you what. Like if you were like, what is Up Late Start like? And I listened to the album 7 times. I can't tell you because it's right in between Broke and Shea Butter,
Okay.
which I remember Broke, I remember Shea Butter.
Okay.
And if we were to go back,
You know what? That's valid. That's valid. I thought you were gonna get up here and say something outrageous. That's valid.
well, let me also say this, right? If we go to like Graduation, now granted, Graduation was an album that I have nostalgia about. I can definitely point to each song and be like, I got you on this, right? Because a lot of these songs are very much like this is like a Kanye magnum opus. I think Ari Lennox, if this is her first album, which is what you're saying, this this is almost a scary level of like production at the start. I just want to see what she is when she like this might not be her magnum opus. I think that she has something else in the chamber. So I feel like people should keep up with it. And that's my recommendation.
That.
Wait,
But
hey,
you 40?
have you
I
listened
thought I
to?
was gonna have to wild out on you, but you know what I'm saying? But you reckon, hey, good, real recognized real, good recognized good.
Hey, what you give?
Shout to you.
What you give it 40?
B
I would
plus.
say a B plus to an A. I feel like we should go and let this be like a meander.
On stage or something?
I stand on B plus, but that's just because right now I'm not in the mood for like any love songs like that. Like this,
Fair.
you know, where like it's like. But I feel like I could definitely say an A. You know.
Wait, quick question. I guess it's more for 40. I'm not 40 for full up. Have you listened to Age, Sex, Location, or whatever the next
Yeah.
her next album is called? How is that better, worse, same?
It's longer, and I think it suffers from being longer that it's not as good as Shea Butter Baby. Now, let's be very clear. A solid amount of hits. Like there's a solid amount. Like she is still talking her shit. You can see the growth in the music, all that stuff.
Okay.
It's just It's a little bit longer. I think it's like only like 3 or 4 songs longer. I think that, and that might be the deluxe edition. I might be tripping. That might be the deluxe edition, but
Like everything is a deluxe edition nowadays.
her growth is apparent, and it's not a step back. Like it's
Nice.
she has a song up there called "Boy Bye," and I think it has "Lucky Day." It has "Lucky Day" out there. Shout out to Lucky Day for doing R&B as well. "Boy Bye" is fire. "Waste My Time" is fire. "Precious" fire. Like she doesn't. If you like this album from her, you can confidently go into a sex location and be like, I'm not going to be disappointed.
Okay.
But
Does that mean that
go ahead.
would you say it would be kind of like if this was College Dropout, then her second album is like Late Registration, which means that she might be like she's progressing, but she needs to like find her sweet spot?
We can't do that. We can't
Okay.
do that simply
Understood.
for the fact that like while the graduation series was fantastic, people have different opinions about individual albums from that. Like I think Late Registration is fire from there. I think College Dropout was kind of mid. But we'll get to that. That's a different conversation for a different day. Cheddar, it's on you, big dog.
Another low light that I actually thought about just now, or rather recently, would be lack
Came in
of
with the chair.
Earth Gang on the album. Earth Gang should have been on the album somewhere.
Who?
Huh?
Earth
Yeah,
Gang?
Earth Gang could have fit on this album somewhere just to get a little bit more Dreamville support. I thought they could have thrown that on the song. I don't know what song, but a song.
Static.
Um, But no, all in all, I'd straight up I'd give this album an A. I'd want to give it an A plus. I don't have enough reference in terms of like a full like neo soul album to say like this is an A plus, but I
Okay.
like it. And I think it's a solid A.
I like it. Short and sweet. And all right. Woo. It's woo is foo.
Um,
Foo, it's woo. What do you got the rating for us, big dog?
um, I was stuck between the A and the A minus simply because I ain't really care for it. Since I ain't care for the J. Cole feature, I feel like it was wasted.
God
It's
damn.
it's
Holy
He
shit.
really doesn't like this
no,
goddamn
hey,
video.
let me be real here. The words are there. I just don't care for it. It's the flow.
Wait. That's like the worst thing you can say to a rapper is, I mean, the words are
Yeah,
words.
the words are
The
like
worst thing you can say to a rapper is because you were featured, it's not going to be an A plus album. You
Exactly.
solely ruined this
Now
album.
you
Thank
know
you,
how
sir.
I
So
feel about J. Cole.
nah. It's because
Go back to Greenville or wherever.
it's
Where is he from?
it's not that, but
Go back.
it's
Greenville, Greenville, right? I ain't crazy.
it's because the JID feature also really ain't do nothing for me, so I feel like features are wasted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, which would take away from it. And I don't care for static, and I hate when albums that are really that good end off with a song that's probably the worst song on the whole album. Like
Okay. That's
I'd rather end off in a bang. Like, all right, you guys here into the album. I'm gonna hit you with one last banger before we go, but that was just something to get you back over to Chicago Boy, which just puts you back in the same vibe that you just had. So, um, I'm still gonna leave it on an A because this does make me want to jump more into the music that she's made just to see if it still holds up, if it gets better. Because if it gets better, then A, then I have another artist I can now just download the whole thing, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna enjoy the tape. So I give her
hey
A.
man. There you go, fellas. You know what I'm saying? There you go, people. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna throw this up on the YouTube page. Don't worry. When Woo posts this, he's gonna post the YouTube, all those links.
Woo-hoo.
All right, we're gonna be good. But there you go. It's the Ari Lennox Shea Butter Baby review by the Album Review Club. You know what I'm saying? Straight loud entertainment. However, before we let y'all tune out, Cheddar, come out and
Man,
play.
what
It's on Cheddar this week, everybody.
the hell is
Cheddar's about to hit us with a review. Oh, Cheddar's about to hit us with an album. All right, we don't know. Well, let me give y'all like the quick details. The objective for this circulation, all right, was A plus or A albums. Now, if you've been tuning in for a little bit, I ain't trying to call my boy out. If you've been tuning in for a little bit, the last time Cheddar gave us an A album, He gave it a B. All right, Cheddar. So
Oh
with
man.
that being said, Cheddar Moolah Baby, what's your album for this week, big dog?
Listen, I have a problem. See, because there's a lot of context things that happen.
This motherfucker,
That
bro,
no no
you
no
can't
no no.
follow simple
Wait.
instructions.
Listen. There's a lot of things that happen that context things that happen that influences my decision. Like last time we did Kendrick before, the week before, so I felt like we had to do a Drake album. So like this time, I just went to a Bino concert. I feel the ultimate need to do because of the internet, but I will not. I will fight the urges because that concert was
Wait. Now
amazing.
let's be
I'll say it
clear. Let's
again.
be clear. Let's be clear. If we were going to do because the internet, I would have given it an A. That's as far
Oh
as
no,
fucking
without a
album.
doubt. I
I'll
also would have given
never
it an
say
A or A
it's not.
plus.
I'll never say it's not. But go ahead.
And that album will come later. I will bring it to the table at some point. So it is coming. But I resisted all those urges, and today I decided to go with an artist that I think is a little bit underrated. I feel like he exists in the space that's that I enjoy, for the music that I like a lot.
John
And I'll bring
Cena.
it to the table. The president of the Banana Club, Mr. Yellow, Mr. The true king of Eritrea, slash Ethiopia, not that other guy who's passed. I'm not gonna mention any names. But anyway, I'm bringing to the table an album by Mr. Uh, most people probably know him as Anime, but I know him as Amine, if you're a real fan. And the album I'm bringing to you this upcoming week is Limbo. That's me going on to Limbo. Wait, one more time. Limbo, Mr. Limbo Man himself, Amine, Mr. President of the Banana Club, Amine, Limbo. That's the album we're doing next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, hold on,
Oh, wait. One
real
more, last
fast,
thing.
real fast,
All right, go,
real
go.
fast. Tell us why we're doing limbo.
Why?
Tell
Because it's a
us, yeah,
fire
tell
ass
us why we're
album.
doing limbo, and we're no, and like why that album over his other album.
Oh, okay. Because I will say, I honestly, it was a tough choice between that one and I can't even think the name of his first album real quick. Anyway, that and his debut album is, I'm just drawing a blank right now, but like I feel like Limbo was like his debut album, but with like a lot more production on it. Like it felt like he went back, got some money, came out with this album, kind of did what he wanted to do. Um, he's a little bit more mature on it, but like still got a little bit of that jokering, like fun s swagger that he puts on his tracks. So I feel like all around it was what I kind of had. And for me personally, which I'll go into a little bit more next week, but like I was slamming Woodlawn Park for 2 3 years straight. Like you know how they do the Spotify end of the year rap or whatever. That was the my top song played for 3 years straight. Like I don't know, his album kind of hit me hard when I found him, and I
Oh,
appreciate it. I said what I said. No,
Is this? He doesn't have any definitive editions or anything? Because like the last couple
okay,
times we had like.
that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Like he has a deluxe edition, which for some reason they throw like the first 7 tracks on there are the bonus tracks. Instead of putting them at the end, they put them at the beginning of the album, which I feel like going in it changed a little bit how I listened to it this second time around because those ones come. There's a song too in the beginning that I don't like as much.
So this time, so we're not doing the deluxe.
I say I'm fine with doing deluxe. Deluxe has some bangers on it. I say I would say to start from track like 8 and then go back to the beginning. But we can start deluxe from the beginning.
Why don't
We're
you just do
We're
both?
not doing any special
Why not
instructions.
both?
Deluxe
Hey,
album,
we're
start
shit.
from
gonna do
there.
we're gonna do the edition that you gotta start midway through the album and then go. And then you gotta.
Start with track
No,
You
7,
can
okay,
go
no,
to
all right.
track
listen to it in
9,
your
go
car
back, do
and
6,
only in your
5,
car.
5, 4.
All right, so there you have it, folks. All right, you know what I'm saying? We gave you our album review, less than an hour. Shout to you. We're doing a Mine or Amine,
Limbo.
Anime,
Not
Limbo.
anime.
Anime.
It's a mine. He
Yeah,
says it all the
so,
time in the song.
and
People still don't get it
Anima
right.
Denima. We're doing Limbo for this week. Regular edition, not deluxe. Check it
No, no,
out.
no. We're doing deluxe. Fuck that. We're doing deluxe.
Deluxe edition, not regular.
There's some
We're just gonna do
bangers.
both
There's
and
some
then
bangers
just
on the
call it a day.
deluxe.
Mind you, he just said. See, this is where Ted's doing that bullshit again. He just said that In order to enjoy that album, you would have to start at 8. He's already setting himself up for failure. Cheddar, did you give the deluxe an A
Yeah,
also?
no, yeah.
Okay.
I give Limbo regular an A plus. I give Limbo Deluxe an A, somewhere between the A and A plus.
Let's do the regular. We'll do the regular.
There's nothing there between
No,
A
trust me. You want to do
Do
deluxe.
okay. A plus. All right. All right. I trust you. I
all
trust you,
right,
money.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Before we do this, before we head out and everything or whatever, last little bit of housekeeping. All right. If you've been tuning in, you can tune out, wherever, bro. We got to break down some business, bro. Will, you can't be saying this about JID. I get it. I get it. You can't beat JID, not no Kendrick clone, bro. You gotta stop. He his own man. He ATL's own. You the South motherfucker up here, bro.
What's he gonna say? Shh. I see people.
Dun, 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 dun,
That's
dun.
wild. I feel like so for some reason, okay, I'll be honest with you, as a Kendrick fan, and also someone who appreciates JID, it's wild that people are just and everyone says that too. They're all just like, yeah, man, he sounds just like Kendrick. It's like, well, damn. It's like how am I supposed to come back from this?
Mm.
And that also messes me up because JID has some fire albums and some fire songs.
Yeah,
It's just
I
like
agree with that.
now every
I
time I
feel like
listen to
it's
him, I always
crazy.
gotta be like, remember, he's not Kendrick. He's not Kendrick every single time. Also, last bit of housekeeping, I gotta say, Cheddar, I'm kind of disappointed we're doing Amine
Amine.
and not and wait, and not Smino. How you gonna turn your back on Smino?
Listen, I could be wrong, but I want to say Amine is part of the reason how I got into Smino. They got a couple songs together that I think I heard through the wire. It was either
Now
him or
see,
Toby
see
Little.
because you said that, I gotta paint you into a box now. Who you like
Oh,
more?
Amine.
Oh,
You ain't got to finish
Ooh,
that.
all right, man.
if
Sorry, I
truth
feel
comes out. If the
that
truth,
felt racially
Amine,
motivated. I don't know. I don't know why.
Amine is,
From
he
Africa?
kind of reminds me. Actually, I'm not even gonna say
from
that.
Canada.
He's fine.
He's Canada's finest, Samina.
He's actually from Ethiopia
All right,
or Eritrea. I can't
Lou,
remember one of
bring
those
us
states.
home. Take us out of here, bro. This is your live. Get us out of here, big dog.
I mean, shoot, you've been running it quite well today, man. So go ahead.
That's Mike. Hey, see, you were worried I was gonna fumble and tumble, but your boy pumbled and pumbled. I brought it back up. We
Anyway,
good.
he
Hey,
also
but
forgot to mention Straight Loud Entertainment YouTube page, and go check that
I
out. I feel like you
definitely
didn't
said
mention that at all.
it, but who's
ladies and
gonna
gentlemen,
post the
it's
link?
been Straight
Straight
Loud
Loud
Entertainment.
Entertainment. You
Also, we
guys are
never
gonna
did
see
the
it all over
cheers.
all of our stories.
How? We did.
We did?
Toast to this, toast to
Damn.
that. You just missed it. All right. We're gonna see you boys later. We out here.
Peace.
Hey, have a great night, everybody.